Hello, I'm Richard Raffan. In this video you're going to see how I made this little 3-inch square bowl. Comes straight out of the chuck, so they're really quite quick and simple to bake. Nice little project for using up odd scraps of very nice wood. This is box elder burl. This is one of 4 small box elder blanks cut out of a larger box elder bowl blank which had some big bark intrusions, and I felt it was better to cut up the larger blank to get these small ones, and you'll see a video on that. So these have now had a hole drilled with a Forstner bit to go over pin jaws. And I could keep this square. In fact, I hadn't thought of that. I'll just proceed and see how we go. Half-inch spindle gouge, as always, 3/8 flutes. The first thing I like to do with anything like this, get a foot on the bowl in case it comes off. And it's going into some 58mm sharp jaws, not those ones. Into these. Controlled. Yeah, I think it might be quite nice to do a squarish little bowl. So need to come in from the rim. If I go that way, I'm likely to split the rim. So I'm going to come in with a 3/8 bowl gouge, 1/4-inch flute. Foot into the right diameter. And this foot will be just about the right size for this size bowl. And that just doesn't sound as if it's cutting very well. And that's a 2-second touch up on the edge on the grinder. It's on an 80 grit CBN wheel. And up into the area where there's more space than wood, I find it more accurate to control the tool and the cut by shear scraping. That looks good. Drop the rest slightly so I'm working more at centre height there. Up again to be at the bottom. So the tool's tilted down on the flat surface. Put a little decoration in there. Oops. Which I can barely see with my present eyesight. Very slightly dovetailed, not for the chuck, for aesthetics. benefits to chuck as well. So this is 180 grits. Up where there's space, I have a pad for that. Doesn't need much because it's a pretty clean cut off the tool. And 240 grit. Beeswax. Still hot, you can stop the lathe and kind of rub it up. That will just grip without leaving a mark because it's the right size for those jaws. Pretty much feel my way down here. With a fairly even wall thickness, so that when I shape the sides, I'll have some even rims. I think it'll be all right. Good firm planted hand on the rest there, because that's got to be the fulcrum for the tool. And I can feel most of that. Nope, that's okay. I have more control over the shape there using a scraper than I do with a gouge. More concerned with the end product than how I get there. Right, so this is then going to be sanded down, so I'm going to take most of those wings away to leave a square edge. So I need, at this stage, it's useful to know where center is there, and then I'll have a few lines just to help me gauge where I am. So I'll be broadly cutting down to about there. I'll do that next. To shape the rims, I've got this sanding disc, bit of melamine board, which goes onto the chuck. I support my wrist on the banjo. Now, to help with the lining everything up, I've got the centre there. I'm just going to kind of eyeball where I want to be, which will just go straight across there. I don't mind if, in fact, I don't actually want these absolutely precisely square. I think bowls which are precisely square are extremely boring to look at. They look too contrived. Whereas I want to kind of generate a bit of energy towards these things. So it looks as though I'm going to be aiming for down here, so there'll be a kind of straight line across there, and I'll know when I've got rid of this bit. This is a 40 grips pad as far as I can remember. Just trying to get rid of this last little bit. I want a bit of asymmetry. Yeah, it could come down quite a bit there. So I'm guided by this inner circle. So now back in the chuck with the corners flying round. So rubber pad, foam pad. And 240 grits. The outside, you can do that either with power or just do it with the hand sanding, I think. And so I'd like it to stay fairly straight. I'll use a cork block this time, and I can lock the spindle just so it stays in one position.
Sounded like a little spit in there, I don't know what that was.
And there's where there was a little kind of, if I failed to get rid of the whole of the yeah, it just didn't true it right up, but on the other hand, if I took it in too much, it wouldn't look quite right, so I'll just, in fact, because of that, I'm just going to round all of them over from underneath. And to round them, then I'm better off with the rubber, with the foam. Right, 1, 2. and polish that. I'm running a little bit slow here, only 1100-1200. Let's go up a bit to generate some more heat. And with the wax melting, just get round on the edges. And almost switch the lathe on there, wouldn't have been very good. So there we are, a little bit of asymmetry. I could do something with those two sides and bring that point in a bit, but I'm quite happy with that. Don't mind a bit of asymmetry.